Hello, everyone, and welcome to Gaia Night Online, Gaia Blooming's weekly Google Plus Hangout that you can join. If you go to our Facebook page, you can click the link on our Facebook page and come on up and pull cards with us for the week. So I have two lovely ladies with me.
Oh, it's me, Karen. Hi.
Sorry.
Oh, and it's
Kara.
Kara.
Awesome. So we have a pretty cool week. So the first thing that's happening this week in the astro is the planet Mercury is moving into Taurus tomorrow. So the card I pulled for this is I'm pulling from the Earth Magic deck. And the card I pulled is Meadow, and it's vulnerability. And what I've been feeling about Mercury and Taurus is it's a really good time to think worthy thoughts and play with the fact that our thoughts truly create our reality. So this is because Mercury is the planet of communication, especially how we communicate to ourselves. In the sign of Taurus, which is very much the Earth, and this physical reality, this Earth sign Taurus. So I think it's sort of, think these worthy thoughts, feel worthy of attracting the job, the relationship, whatever it is. But sometimes when we're thinking these worthy thoughts and it's not lining up with what's in front of us, we can be vulnerable. Maybe you feel you're thinking worthy thoughts and thinking to yourself, yes, I'm going to, draw the boundary with my boss. But you need the extra hours right now, and you feel vulnerable saying, no, I can't come work. I have to work on my book or I have to work on my hobby, when you have all these human demands in front of you, all these like 3D things that you need to pay or do. So, to trust it, to fake it till you make it, kind of to get into the vortex and trust that it's all going to fall together. And that comes with being comfortable, being vulnerable. So
and to go exactly with what she said, I pulled Sandalphon, the Unity card, and basically that's really giving confirmation to what Shannon just said, because this card really means, how does society look at you and how do you react? If you're reacting like, oh, I have to please everybody, well, guess what? You're going to get nowhere, especially as this Mercury event happens, because this is about communicating inside yourself first and being honest and true with yourself, and then being honest and true with the world outside of yourself. So the first thing you have to do is make sure that what you say is what you mean, and then you have to make action on it. So take Sandalphon's word of advice and go for what you really are, not what you want society to think you are.
Awesome.
Great. I love that. I love both of those. It's so good to be reminded of all this stuff, and to have these tools ahead of time going into these times. It's funny because I pulled from the Archangel Michael deck, and what I pulled was the Forgive Yourself.
Wow.
card. So the way I'm interpreting this along, on the tail end of the two of your readings is basically with Mercury being the planet of communications, we need to be really clear in our communications right now. But before we can manifest, the dream job or the dream relationship and all this stuff moving forward into Taurus, which is ruled by Venus, which is, Taurus are all about loving too. I think that we all need to forgive ourselves. I know myself included, like let myself off the hook and, pat myself on the back where it needs to, where I deserve to be patted on the back, and let go of old ideas that I hold, about myself. So that way I can embrace the new job or the new love or the new whatever that we're moving into that we're trying to manifest. Because it's definitely not going to come down and grab me. I have to match its energy. And I always forget that. But, when we manifest, we're manifesting stuff up here. And if I'm feeling down here, it's not going to come down here, because then guess what? That's not going to feel so good. So I've got to come up here, and I've got to match it energy frequency-wise. So I've got to forgive myself before that can happen. And I think
That's
we
awesome.
can all learn forgive and love ourselves just a little more each day.
I love it. I think she's absolutely right on the nose.
Perfect. That's so perfect. And I was also saying I think it was in the horoscope or in the blog, that, Mercury in Taurus is the time to think worthy thoughts. Just think worthy thoughts, and forgiveness is such a huge part of that, because to get to that point, you're going to have to forgive, yourself, your whatever, people who, programmed into you that you were unworthy in your life, you believing it, all of that. So that's so perfect. Cool. Okay.
Very interesting.
So the next event we're going to pull a card for is Pluto stationing retrograde on April 16th, so on Thursday. The card I pulled for this is the creation, the Dreamtime creation card. So first of all, whenever a planet goes retrograde, I always associate it with a turning within, kind of like a shift to the subconscious, a shift to the not-so-tangible aspects of whatever that planet is ruling. And Pluto is always this deep, deep core within us. So we're now shifting. The deep transformation that's happening is now happening on these deep layers within ourselves, is how I associate Pluto retrograde. And I mean, depending on where it is in your chart, which you can talk to, someone like Mimi or myself can tell you where it is, then you kind of can get a feel of what area of your life is transforming in this internal way. But dream time, I just feel like, the best way to connect, one of the best ways I connect with my subconscious or these deep things is through dreams. So paying attention to our dreams, paying attention to, what are the fears coming up in your dreams? What are the things that are coming up? And I mean, it might not always be, say you have a nightmare about your sister. Well, it's not about your sister. It's about you, and what does she bring up in you? And so looking at your dreams and knowing that it's all you. And it's not about anybody except yourself. This dream is all a part of you, but kind of playing with it, piecing it together. Keeping a dream journal beside your bed, so when you wake up, you can just jot it down. I have this book about dreaming. I wish I could remember the author, but what they suggest is if you get a glass of fresh water and drink half of it and set the intention that you're going to remember your dreams tonight, and put it on your side of your desk, and then when you wake up after your dream, drink the second half of that. So I don't know, I do that, and it always works, and I always get something cool from it. But
Does it?
Actually, I do it with vodka, and it works even better. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. This is someone who hasn't had a drink in 6 months, so I was just kidding with that. But I went for the joke.
And again, this creation energy, that's Capricorn is an earth sign, and just like Taurus too, so it's creation, creating new pathways within yourself, creating new beliefs, forgiving yourself to create something new. So look at how your dreams are helping you or guiding you to maybe adjust the thoughts you're thinking, like we just talked about, forgive yourself in certain ways, or to get on board with a new project or something like that. So big shifts internally for sure.
Okay, hey Shannon, before you put that card down, can you hold it back up?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, everybody, take a look at this and the really similarities of this with the Page of Fire. The Page of Fire is all about creation, about this is the time to really get out of whatever rut you're in and start creating. And the pages of the Angel Tarot deck are always the messenger. So this is a messenger. If you're not going to get up and get your creation going, then guess what? The universe is going to do it for you. Now, do you want to do this? Or do you want the universe to do it for you? Seems to me, from my experience, that if I wait and let the universe do it, it's a mess. I mean, it's like a total mess. So I would advise anybody out there to, if you have something that you're feeling very creative about, something that you've just really, like Shannon was saying, it's almost like it's come from a dream, but you've been afraid to do it. That Pluto energy has been holding you back, but the Pluto energy can also be the death of something and the birth of a new thing. And this is definitely saying the birth of something new, and it could be mischievous and fun and very different than your normal. So maybe you do need to take that glass of water and put it by your bed and see what your dreams are, because this is saying you're going to manifest it. And if you can see, I hope you can see that inside here, she's creating a dream has a little dragon baby in it. So that's just giving you confirmation that it can be as creative as you want. So go for it.
Awesome. Thank you, Karen.
Wow, that's crazy. How all three of our readings have been very coinciding with one another. So the card that I drew out of the new deck that my lovely, wonderful, amazing friend Karen got me is the Angel Dream cards by Doreen Virtue. Anyway, I don't really know. I haven't worked with these cards a lot, but I definitely love them, so I thought they'd be appropriate. And I pulled the Astral Travel
Mm,
card.
Oh,
Yeah.
perfect.
So basically, my interpretation and feeling on this card is this is about expanding your horizons. This card, and this is a perfect time too, it's like think big, you know, and be really, really clear in your intentions on expanding and do things that are different. Maybe step out of your comfort zone a little bit right now, and something that feels like something you've always wanted to go do or someplace you've always wanted to go. You know, start making intentions and plans to do those things, and that is what this to me. Also, it's really good for, I believe, for meditation, astral travel. Like, in other words, you know, set your intentions before you go to sleep, that, as Shannon said, to dream something. And in our dreams, we do receive a lot of amazing information and guidance. So, you know, I think that that's what this is all about.
excellent.
Maybe expand your group of friends, you know, maybe start widening your circle. That's just what I'm picking up on.
Mhm. Awesome. Thank you. Okay, so then the last thing we'll pull cards for is there's a new moon on April 18th. It's happening around 3 o'clock Pacific, so later in the day for the East Coast and Europe and such. So anyways, this is a new moon right at the end of Aries. And the card, I love this card. I pulled the Wolf card, Instinct. So, I mean,
Ooh.
Aries is such, or wolf is such Aries energy. This Aries fire, or well, it is fire, but this warrior, this leader, the first sign of the zodiac, this trailblazer, pioneer type energy. And what does the wolf listen to? It's instinct. It's, you know, it's gut. And so taking this new moon is a great time to set an intention and to start something, a new lunar cycle, and connecting to your gut, you know what's next for you. You know this, whether maybe you're going to get a message in your dreams like we're talking, or through thoughts or whatever it is, but pay attention and open for the signs, especially I'll say starting on the 14th to the 16th, the moon is going to be in the sign of Pisces. And whenever the moon is in the sign of Pisces, we're kind of have this phone line up to spirit, or we're very, very open spiritually. So pay attention to what are the signs, what's the guidance, to cultivate this instinctual new moon intention. And again, to remember that it's okay, sometimes it's even better, I've found in my life, to keep a new moon intention broad. So say you want to manifest a new job. Okay, so why do you want to manifest that new job? How do you want to feel, right? Oh, because maybe you want more freedom, or you want more income. But why do you want the income? To feel at ease. So kind of gets to this root vibration of what you're trying to manifest. If it's a job, a relationship, to feel love and acceptance, to feel unconditional love, and then feel that inside yourself, even if you have to think yourself into a different reality, or think something, or forgive something, whatever it is. But I'm just getting to tell everybody that it's okay to keep your manifestation broad, because I know sometimes we keep it broad and, oh, freedom. Ooh, that feels really good. But then as they start, okay, I want a job that I have 6 vacation weeks a year, and I want this, and we get so into it because we think you can't manifest that job. No one's going to give you those paid vacation, and we get so specific in it, and it just throws off our energy. So just stay in this broad place where, you know, find your intention. If it is, say, freedom, that's a pretty Aries type thing, freedom, and then let source, you know, your higher self, let them or her figure out, you know, how that she's going to bring that freedom to you.
And to go along exactly with what Shannon is saying, I got the Ten of Water. And the Ten of Water basically says, have it all. You
Totally.
have it all, which is different than you want it all or you need it all. You don't want, you don't want to need, you want to have. And the Ten of Water is saying you have everything you need right now. So what she's saying, as Shannon was saying, is think big, don't think in 6 weeks vacation, think huge, think as broad and as big, and have it, don't want it, because want is a bad word when you're manifesting. So go with the Ten of Water, because this is like having it all, and you can do that. And the new moon happens at 11:57 a.m. Pacific, 2:57 Eastern.
Oh, okay. Thanks for that.
You're welcome. I have the moon app.
That is such a great thing. Thank you, Karen. Thank you, Shannon. So, interestingly, I pulled from the romantic angels because I wanted to reach out there to anybody and all you lovebirds out there, or people trying to manifest love, because I know there's lots of us out there. And I love to use these cards around the new moon, because obviously we all have things that we're trying to shed, and better ways of loving, and more, I guess, keeping our hearts more open to love. And I pulled the heart-to-heart conversation card, which I think is really cool with the new moon. So I'm really interpreting this card as telling us to have our hearts more open, be willing to communicate your honest feelings. Don't be afraid to talk. Don't be afraid to share. Don't be afraid to be vulnerable. Because moving into the new energy as we go into these new moons, it's always wonderful to be able to feel safe enough within yourself and source, or whatever you want to call it, that you can just be open and you can be honest with your feelings. So
And Kara, just to add to that, if she's holding up the card, you can see there's a little angel there, and that is also suggesting to you to also listen to that intuition. Whether you're having the one-on-one conversation with yourself or others, listen to your angels, listen to your intuition, listen to what your gut says to you. And as Kara knows, her gut's always right, so she can back me up on that one.
Well, it's not always right, but I think most of us, our inner guidance is there. All of us, we all know our inner guidance is there. It's just how well do we listen to it, right?
Right.
Yeah. Or have the courage
always working within all of us. So interesting. I'm excited.
Oh, look it! I just grabbed my deck, and the new moon card fell out.
Oh, that's a jumper.
And look at how cool this is. Promise, and look at the couple just looking out over a sunset. How nice is that?
I don't know. I just got the chills. I really got the chills. I have that as a jumper card after what Kara just said. That's really cool. Wow.
That was really cool. So this new moon.
Well, and one more thing on that heart-to-heart card I just want to touch on really quickly too is, sometimes we can be so caught up in stuff. And, Karen, I love. I have the pleasure of being able to also live with her. She's my roommate, so I get all this added bonus stuff and teachings, and it's amazing. But she's so good at being due diligent, about her practices with all of this. And one of the things that I've recently experienced with this stuff is, relationships, or heart-to-heart situations, because it's all relationships. We're having relationships on every level with different people on different levels, so it's so interesting how what we think one relationship can look like, how doing the work and letting things go and trusting in a new moon's energy that something can recalibrate. And sometimes that's what it takes, is to do something like a new moon ceremony and call in the love and have heart-to-hearts for things to have the opportunity to recalibrate. So I wanted to say that for some reason.
Totally. Awesome. All right. So, do you ladies have anything else to add?
Happy new moon. Have fun. And like Kara said, we'll be doing a ceremony on Saturday. And ceremonies can be easy. All you have to do is write down on a piece of paper what you would really, really like. Well, this is the short version. Make sure that you are specific on that list. And usually we use sage and music and all that stuff, but you can just cut to the chase. And what you need to do is just meditate on that piece of paper and then take it somewhere and either burn it or bury it. If you do burn it, keep the ashes and then let them go somewhere so that they can go out into the universe. Out meaning not the garbage, but Kara took the ones from the full moon and went to the ocean and threw it out in the ocean, somewhere in nature that's not littering. Okay, and that is a very quick ritual, but it works. So have a good new moon.
Definitely works. I mean, I know you know that, Shannon. They're wonderful.
And especially being the new moon in Aries, it's a good time to get the element of fire and burn it. So that's cool.
Yeah, so do it.
Yeah, there we go. So thank you everyone for watching, and thank you Karen and Kara.
And thank you, Shannon.
You were welcome.
Fun. Thanks for inviting me.
Namaste.